off this countdown, we have the face suit. So this video was uploaded and created by Reddit user Nude Robot Baby. The whole thing just makes me want to bleach my eyes out. Like, it makes me feel so uncomfortable. So according to this user, they were wearing a custom motion capture suit while dancing. And then, for some reason, he thought it would be a good idea to make himself a face suit to wear. And this was the final outcome. I don't know why he thought this was a good idea or like what the meaning behind this is, but it's surely creepy. When someone asked him why he did this, he replied with, "To appease the face lords." So, there's that. In our 8th spot, we have the haunted cupboard. So this video was posted into the Cursed subreddit by I Like Cake and Music. Well, me too. I unfortunately don't know where the original video is from, but it's from some TikTok video. Honestly, if I was home alone and saw that thing peering out of my cupboard, I think I would die. Like, that's absolutely horrifying and puts a new meaning on the word serial killer. Get it? Seriously, that is a cursed box of cereal. Also, what brand of cereal is that? Like, I've never seen such an evil face on a cereal box before. It's definitely not Honey Nut Cheerios or Raisin Bran, that's for sure. Moving on to number 7, we have the fish. Who here is a fan of fish? Maybe you like salmon or tuna or sushi. Well, this next woman loves fish, especially raw fish.
Mal gucken, ob ich das genauso kann wie die Robben. Keine Chance.
Okay, I'm sorry, that is too much for me. Not only would that be incredibly stinky, but that can't taste good at all. I'm just glad that she didn't chomp down on it. But still, why did she just put that whole thing in her mouth like that? What's she trying to prove? If she's trying to sell that fish, then she needs to be fired because that is not a good sales pitch at all. That poor fish. I just have so many questions. Coming in at number 6, we have the cursed pig. You know it's time to get off the internet when you come across a video like this. So this man's name is Johnny Ridlin, and he actually became famous on TikTok for posting weird videos just like this one. He now has 2.6 million followers on TikTok. So he literally gets paid to post weird stuff like this. I mean, personally, that's not my cup of tea, but if you like that stuff, then I guess check out his page. I'm just curious to know how this all started. Like, did he just wake up one day and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get dressed up like a pig and shout out on some beans? Like, who thinks like that? I mean, it worked. The video went viral and he's got a big following now. Maybe I gotta start doing stuff like that. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the cursed home. So this video was shared in the Cursed subreddit by a user named Teriak01. There's no description. The video is just titled The Cursed Home. So the video starts off with a creepy shot of some old stairs. In the background, we can hear muffled screaming. From there, something unexplainable happens. I literally can't describe it at all, so just take a look. Like, what is that? What did I just watch? I genuinely think that that video is cursed, and I'm getting bad vibes here, folks. bad vibes.
Coming in number 10, we have Ed and Lorraine Warren. Let's kick off this list with one that was filmed by some of the most famous paranormal investigators in the world, Ed and Lorraine Warren. If you guys have seen any of the Conjuring movies or The Nun or the Annabelle series, then you will know all about these two because those movies are based on their life. Obviously, Hollywood has spiced it up a little bit for the people at home, but you understand how they must have been deep in the weeds with spooky stuff to get that many movies made about them. In this clip, we see a homemade video of Ed and Lorraine working with family to try and help them get rid of a ghost that has been bothering them.
Since it was filmed by Ed and Lorraine Warren, it gives it a whole lot more validity than some other amateur footage that's out there.
Ed calls out to the ghost to try and get it to do something, and oh boy does he ever get a response. The scariest part of the video for me is when the ghost tries to pull a chair out from under a lady who is sitting in it. For one, that is a very dangerous thing to do, and two, who is your ghost? A 12-year-old bully named Spike from the 80s? What's the ghost gonna do next? Try and give you a wedgie after he gives you a swirly?
In our number 9 spot today, we have a video called American Football. This video is only 2 seconds long, but absolutely creeped me out. I'm not entirely sure why it's called American Football, because it has nothing to do with football, but that is unimportant. It shows someone sitting in what looks like their living room, and they're filming the hallway that's not too far away from where they're sitting. Almost immediately, this creepy dark figure comes out from the shadows of the hallway and comes straight for the person filming. I'm not sure what this thing is, where it came from, or what happened to the person who's filming, but I honestly am left with a lot of questions. It might just be someone who had a crazy costume and they're acting out a scary situation, but either way, I would not want to be there at all.
Coming in number 8, we have Camping with the Boys. Normally, when you're out in the woods with the boys, just have a few beers, light a fire, and then talk about all the greasy things you've done. But YouTuber Sean Schutz 69 probably didn't think that his camping trip was going to go like this.
What is that? What the f is that? Creepy.
These dudes are out in the middle of the woods alone, and it sounds like something is out there banging on metal. It's pitch black when you're out in the woods, so I doubt someone was doing some quick night construction. You know, just building a metal railing that can go on the side of your murder mobile so you can drive through the woods looking for a group of young men to turn into some lunch meat. The strange noises in the woods continue, and all 4 guys sleeping out there are woken up. One of them opts out of sleeping in the tent and decides that it would be safer in the car, which seems like the smartest move if you ask me. At least if some horrible creature shows up, it has to break through your window rather than the thin veil of nylon. Coming in number 6, we have Figure in the Woods. Anyone walking around the woods who has a hood on might as well be Jason Voorhees because you're gonna scare the crap of everyone you come across. The person in our next clip has been filming this figure that has just been walking back and forth in the woods across from her home.
Walks back and forth every day, all day. Now, I've been over there a couple of times. As I walk up on it, there's just nothing there.
Now, even though that is very creepy, it's not a crime. If you want, you're allowed to do creepy stuff like that. But what makes this worth commenting on is the fact that this person will do this for hours and has been doing it every day for the past 5 days at the time that this video was taken. And if you want to up the ante even more, apparently whenever the person filming approaches this figure, they disappear. And then when they go back to their house and start filming again, they can see them again. It's all very strange.
In our number 5 spot today, we have this rando nodding TikTok. There's a series of TikToks uploaded by the user Taylor Vasquez 66 as she goes rando nodding in an area, and some pretty spooky things begin to happen. Rando nodding is when you go to a random area that is given to you by the Randonautica app. The app will give you a location that is close to you based on a quantum random number generator and Mother Nature. A lot of people have found some pretty eerie stuff while rando nodding, and Taylor's experience was no different. The first TikTok shows her finding some creepy drawings in the area she's exploring before hearing a super creepy sound.
Then we have these random 3. This one's a It's Your Birthday with the snowman with... I swear I'm friendly. Play with me.
I'm not gonna lie, I honestly gasped at the same time Taylor did. She ended up running away, which seems like the right response, but she did come back to film a part 2 of the TikTok. She finds more creepy drawings and continues searching around. She doesn't hear it at first, but there's this same child's voice speaking as she looks around again.
If they have messages on them, because then, like, those look like symbols. I don't really see anything else, so like...
I don't know where this voice is coming from, or if it's someone playing a prank or a real scary ghost child, but I'm so glad Taylor got out of there as quickly as possible. In our number 1 spot today, we have this Home Alone video, not Macaulay Culkin. This video is taken by a guy who is home alone and can hear a super creepy sound. He starts recording because he can hear a woman screaming, which is truly just never a good sign. He explains in the video that the sound is coming from the area behind his house, but there isn't anyone who lives back there or really any reason for someone to be back there at all. He says the area behind his house is just woods, so this isn't going well. As he walks further towards the back of his house, his phone starts to not only pick up the super scary screaming, but also some more weird, unexplainable sounds. I'm not sure if this sound is coming from some sort of paranormal situation or if it really is someone in danger, but either way, it is not a good situation to be in, especially not alone. Starting off this list in our number 10 spot, we have a Shadow People Trail video. So this video comes to us from the YouTube channel Heather's Hauntings. They went exploring to a place called the Shadow People Trail, and then they are trying to communicate with the spirits who live there.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, so like right next to me here, you guys can't see it, but it is the water. It's really pretty out too. It's freaking crazy. But it's dark, so.
Oh.
I like those jean shorts.
Terror? What'd that say? Terror? I don't know.
I've used that app before too.
Nope.
It's creepy. I don't like it.
I'm out.
No. Especially when you heard that noise and all of a sudden it's like, terror.
Nope. Being alone in the woods in the night and hearing strange sounds is not ideal.
No, and I like how they're like, oh, the lake's lovely though.
Yeah, the lake's over here. Blah,
It's just,
blah, blah.
haunted, but it's lovely.
Heather, you're a beast.
Moving on to number 9, we have Eastern State Ghost. This next video is of a ghost captured in the abandoned Eastern State Prison. Upon all the dust or orbs floating, you can clearly see a blurry shadow run down the hallway away from the camera. You know, at first I didn't see it and then I was like, whoa, that is fully a ghost. Now let me give you a quick backstory to this prison. It was built in 1829 and it was known for housing some of the biggest criminals, such as Al Capone. The conditions in the prison weren't the best. Prisoners were kept in complete solitude, seeing nobody else besides the guards. Literally, they would have their heads covered if they had the chance to leave their cells just so that they couldn't see anyone. Didn't stop there, the guards would often torture the inmates, like soaking them in cold water and then letting them dry outside during the winter time. But the prison closed in 1971. And now apparently the ghosts of the prisoners haunt the walls, seeking revenge on the guards. So what we saw in that video is probably the ghost of one of the prisoners.
In our number 8 spot today, we have a possessed doll video. This video comes to us from the YouTuber Anonymous Web. They have done other videos that are similar to this one where they order an allegedly possessed doll off of the dark web and then they try to catch some paranormal activity on camera. Anonymous got this creepy doll named Ken Ken that has an Illuminati style triangle as well as the symbol for males on its forehead and then these weird holes by its mouth. He also found this letter included with the doll.
In night I seek, in dark I breathe. Say my name twice.
If you say the name twice, it apparently activates the doll, so Anonymous decided to say it 3 times just for good measure. Well, he was quickly regretting it when things immediately started to go awry.
Ken. Ken. Whoa! What the f?
I think it's safe to say that maybe Anonymous should stop ordering these dolls.
Moving on to number 7, we have ball lightning. At first glance at this mysterious ball of floating light, you may think that it's a UFO. Honestly, for years, people have been thinking these glowing balls of light were aliens. But it turns out that it may be something called ball lightning. Ball lightning is an unexplained mystery that continues to shock scientists. They don't know how it occurs or what it really is. So as you saw in the video, there was a ball of light heading towards a city. Well, this might be lightning in the shape of a ball. I mean, it might be. We still don't really know 100% for sure. But over the years, there have been rumors of a glowing ball touching down and striking those around it. In October of 1638, this ball entered a church and killed 4 people inside of it and injured 60 others. The church was nearly destroyed, and after it was filled with dark, thick, sulfur-smelling smoke. Like I said, this phenomenon is still unexplainable. Scientists don't know how they come to be. So what we see in this video could be a ball of lightning, or it could be a UFO. Who really knows?
In our number 6 spot today, we have this doorbell camera footage. This video comes from Bristol and is taken from somebody's Ring doorbell camera footage. It shows an unbelievably creepy masked man trying to get into someone's front door. The lady who was home heard a knock at her door and saw a car she didn't recognize parked across the street. She was uncomfortable opening the door on her own, so she yelled, "Can I help you?" out of an open window nearby. When the masked stranger heard her voice, they immediately took off running, and that's when she went to review the camera footage to see if she could recognize them and saw the uncomfortable fact that they were masked. As you can see, he looks like he's in The Purge, and he went to try the door handle to see if he could get in. Just to add another layer of disturbing actions, he then made sure to wipe his fingerprints off of the handle. I really want to know what he's got around his back and what the heck is in his hoodie pocket. I'm really glad he got spooked when he heard her voice and that things didn't escalate any further. Heading on to number 9, we have the possible fallen angel video. This video follows 2 men entering some kind of forest when they start to come across these really large feathers.
I don't know.
They continue on their journey in the woods and follow wherever the feathers are leading them. Eventually they come across some sort of creature that looks like a man with a wound in his back, but it is pretty difficult to see. Now comes the cursed part. This man creature thing then turns his head and his eyes are illuminated by the light from the camera. This creature is meant to be a fallen angel. While this video isn't actually real footage, it was made by some Spanish horror film fans, and it is still pretty cursed and very creepy. If I didn't know this video was fake, I honestly probably would have believed it. Continuing on to number 7, we have a video titled Clip95.mp4. I honestly wish I could explain to you guys what is going on in this video, but I really have no idea. It is a weirdly put together VHS tape that features some strange looking people in masks, a weird thing that maybe looks like a clock or something, and just a whole bunch of bad energy. I'll let you guys watch the whole thing and see what you think is happening. I don't know what the heck is going on, but I feel like I don't even want to find out. In our number 6 spot today, we have a creepy girl in an abandoned house video. This video is a classic people looking through an abandoned house, but they get quite a surprise. The 2-minute long video is mostly just the people walking through the house, searching around for whatever they can find. Around the 50-second mark, they find what looks like a newspaper and begin talking to each other. I have no idea what they are saying because it's not in English, but I'm going to assume they are talking about the paper because they zoom in on it. They begin to continue looking through the house when the person holding the camera finally sees it. Over in the corner is a little girl. Whether this is a real girl or some kind of ghost or demon is tough to say, but none of them are good options. This clip shows his initial reaction, but it's super tough to see the little girl, so the video then slows it down and brightens it up a bit so we can get a good look at what the video captured. In our number 4 spot today, we have this strange video of a girl levitating in a Russian forest. This video starts off with a man and his dog walking through some kind of forest in the snow. They are playing fetch and the man throws the ball and the dog chases after it, but when the owner calls the dog back, the dog has clearly seen something else and begins running off.
Tarzan, опор! А теперь ко мне. Ко мне, Тарзан. Ко мне, я говорю. Tarzan! Tarzan, я сказал, ко мне!
This is all fine and well, but when the man follows the dog to see where he's going, they come across something super strange. It is literally a girl levitating in the air. She's with another person and it's kind of unclear if he is the one who is levitating her or if she's doing it herself, but when they realize that someone is watching, she quickly returns to the ground and they both run off.
Что это? Тихо, тихо, Тарзан. Тарзан, тихо, Тарзан.
I know the clip is really grainy and hard to see, but there's definitely something weird going on here. At number 3 today, we have the creeper in my apartment video. An actor from New York named Joe Cummings set up a hidden camera in his apartment after he noticed some strange things happening. He would notice food missing that he knew he hadn't eaten. He set up a camera before bed and caught what I don't think anyone was expecting. He really caught someone who had been staying in his attic-like area who came down at night to use the washroom, get some food, and something to drink. I couldn't imagine the feeling you would get after seeing this footage. It is obvious that this woman needed a place to stay and some food, and everyone deserves to have both of those things, but it would have felt pretty scary to not know that someone was in there with you. In our number 1 spot today, we have the Elisa Lam elevator surveillance camera footage. Elisa Lam was a Canadian student at the University of British Columbia. She had taken a trip to Los Angeles in 2013 and was staying at the Cecil Hotel, which has now been renamed Stay on Main. The video is footage of her last known appearance, which is just already uncomfortable and unsettling enough, but it's her strange behavior that makes it even creepier. The video is just her getting into the elevator, but it seems like she selects multiple floors. It then appears that the elevator is malfunctioning because the doors aren't closing. She waits in the corner but slowly creeps up to the door before popping her head out and looking both ways like she's looking for someone. She continues to appear as though she's hiding from someone or like she's scared of something, from waiting in the corners of the elevators to walking just outside of it. There's something about this video that just doesn't sit right. Unfortunately, Elisa was found dead in the hotel's water tower on top of the hotel. While it is pretty unclear exactly what happened to her, it was ruled an accident. Whatever happened to her on that day is absolutely tragic. Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have the real airplane ghost video.
The video is 1.5 minutes long and starts off with a guy just walking through a dark and empty plane. I'm not sure if he is looking for something or someone specifically, or just making sure everything is okay.
He gets to the back of the plane and looks around with his flashlight, but doesn't really see anything. He then turns to make his way back to the front of the plane, but then he possibly hears something, or maybe just senses something creepy behind him that makes him turn around again to face the back of the plane.
Verga.
He continues to hold his flashlight and look towards the back of the plane before he sees this shadow creature ghost thing peek its head out from the corner. You can see it peek its head out once and the man misses it. Then the second time, he got out of there as quick as possible.
No mames.
Continuing on to number 8, we have a TikTok from the user NickSamino68. The TikTok is him and his mom both recording in their house where they have previously had some paranormal experiences. The video starts off with Nick being clearly freaked out, saying that he heard a baby crying, and then the lights begin to flicker. His mom, who is also recording, says she thinks she saw a figure, and then things really start to get out of hand. He sees the remote fall, and then the lamp turns itself on and off.
Yo, I think I just literally seen the remote fall. Oh my god. I don't know what to do. I don't want to even move from over here.
Oh, now the TV is in on the action as well.
Is anyone there? The TV's on. The blue light's on for the... Okay, this is great. What is happening?
The video ends with the pair being too scared to go anywhere, so they just stay put in the kitchen where the video started.
Okay guys, I just caught the video because something literally rolled out of the dark in front of me, and my mom and I still haven't gone down there, so we're just staying in the flickering kitchen.
I think it might be time for those two to find a new house.
In our number 7 spot today, we have this ghost in a closet video. This one was posted to Reddit by the user JustHer87, and they explain in the caption that this strange occurrence happens every night and began a little over a month ago.
The video is basically exactly what it sounds like, a ghost in a closet. The ghost appears to be moving one shirt back and forth in the closet before it knocks something else over.
Success. After the ceremonies, it was time to head north to the observing sites. But the high-level attention and support continued.
So we definitely had a full convoy led by a police escort leading us.
I'm not sure if this ghost is trying to communicate something or maybe play a little game, or if they just wanted their presence to be known, but it is pretty creepy. In our number 6 spot, we have a video from the Paranormal Hunter channel, DDoc Meekhole. The video starts off with this guy walking around what looks like an abandoned building when he suddenly comes across a red box. You might think a red box would be harmless, but we are talking about cursed videos here.
누구세요? 누구세요? 아!
누구세요?
아!
Whoever this man is certainly braver than I am because he continues searching through this house. The next unexplainable moment happens when he comes across a red stool. I'm not sure what it is with this ghost and the color red, but...
어? 아니야, 잠깐만.
When he pulls the stool back out, we can see that there's no string attached, so how did it move? He continues on, but the ghost is not finished with the stool just yet. The ghost then escalates and knocks an entire shelf over. After some more time of him searching through the house, he puts the camera down, and I'm not exactly sure what he is doing, but he's several feet away from the camera when this creepy figure appears in front of us.
오게. 분유게 갖고 오세요. 갖고 오세요.
He continues searching the house, but ends up ultimately running away from the house, which really does seem like the right move. I'm not sure what that thing was, but it did not seem good. Its little eyeball in the corner definitely creeped me out.
We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the ghost in someone's bedroom. This video was posted to Reddit by the user AlwaysBlurkin, and it's footage from someone's bedroom security camera. First off, why do you have a security camera in your bedroom? Kinda sketchy. The video is only 13 seconds long, and it starts off with what looks like a couple watching TV in their bed. When one of them reaches over to their nightstand, something interesting happens on the opposite nightstand. When they weren't looking, I guess the ghost decided it was the perfect time to strike. Their dog gets up to go and inspect the situation, and I feel like if there was another person in the room helping them pull off some sort of scheme to get this video, the dog would have been distracted by that extra person. But it seems like everyone, including the dog, is pretty creeped out. Sounds like something from Paranormal Activity, can't lie.
Coming in at number 4, we have the ghost screaming in a hotel room. This video went viral pretty quickly after it was posted to the internet, and for good reason.
This footage is from a hotel security camera from September 14th, 2003, and the audio is the hotel security's radio feed.
The video starts off with a security guard being sent up to check on room 209 because there's no one checked into the room, but there are reports of screaming coming from the room.
It's room 209. Amy says nobody's checked into that room, and there's reports of screaming coming from that room. Way down there right now.
The security guard, John, gets to the room and we can clearly hear screaming coming from the room. And it's obviously scaring poor John.
What's going on, John?
John goes to knock on the door and potentially enter before he is instructed not to and to wait for the police, just in case anything terrible is going on in that room. John, being the hero that he is, decides not to wait in case there's anyone who needs his help, and he ends up entering the room.
I'm not sure if you guys caught that, but after John enters the room, you can literally see a ghost float out of the room past him.
The light outside of the room flickers, and then a few seconds later, John comes back out of the room, and we can all breathe a sigh of relief that he is fine. John, however, has some unsettling news for us.
He says that no one is in the room, but the shower was turned on and all the furniture had been turned upside down and the carpet was all ripped up.
It is very unclear what went on in this hotel room, but whatever it is, couldn't have been good.
No, that's a cursed hotel room. For
Absolutely.
sure. No one stay in that room. In our second spot, we have a dog seeing a ghost. This video starts off with the explanation of why they were recording in the first place. They said their dog kept crying at the back door at night and waking them up, so they set up this camera to see if they could figure out what was upsetting the dog. Also, just to add an extra layer of creepiness, this video was shot on Friday the 13th. Once we get into the actual recording, it starts off just a quiet night and obvious that everyone in the house is sleeping. But suddenly, seemingly unprovoked, the dog gets up and heads to the back door, like he sees or hears something. The dog continues standing and staring at the back door when the weird stuff starts to happen. It starts with the backyard light being turned on and off, which is obviously freaking the dog out. Then it gets really weird. Not only does the light turn on again, but we hear a pretty loud banging sound. And then the blind on the back door begins to rise, all on its own. That's when we hear the dog cry. The dog continues staring at the back door and crying for the rest of the video, like he can see someone out there. It's super creepy.
In our number 9 spot today, we have this creepy figure that was caught on camera. This video shows a few people in a vehicle approaching some sort of figure. It kind of looks like a human with long dark hair in a white robe, but it also kind of doesn't look human at all. The way that the figure moves and is walking around with what looks like some sort of walking stick is so creepy. But the way that the guy is yelling also has me really freaked out. It sounds like maybe there's like something in his mouth because it's kind of muffled. I don't know for sure, but something creepy is going on here for sure. The vehicle continues to move towards the figure and then away again, and the guy you can hear in the video seems pretty freaked out, which I feel like I also would be if I was in that situation.
Coming in at number 8, we have Benjamin Bennett. If you've been on YouTube for quite some time, then you probably know about the YouTuber Benjamin Bennett. His videos creep a lot of people out for a number of reasons. Basically, he's known to just sit on the floor and stare and smile at the camera for hours. There's videos of him doing this for 4 hours straight, no cuts, no nothing. Now, a lot of people saw these and he thought he was being held hostage or something, but he's explained why he does this. In an interview, he said, and I quote, "There isn't really a purpose. My inbox is full of people asking me why I'm doing this, but I don't think that question is really applicable to this type of activity. I guess it's just something he enjoys doing." Now here's where the mystery comes in. While filming one of his videos, he heard someone come into his home, say hello, and then leave.
Hello?
He doesn't know who this man is, and he was home alone at the time that this was being recorded. Now he thinks maybe it was someone that broke into his house and then left immediately when he saw him doing the whole sitting and staring thing. But honestly, we still don't really know. Can you imagine walking in being like, "Hello, is anyone here? I'm trying to rob." Oh snap, what's going on here? I'm just gonna... And he's just sitting there like...
In our number 7 spot today we have 11B times 1371. I legitimately have no idea what is going on in this video, but it has bad vibes written all over it. Not a ton actually happens in the video, but it's a guy wearing a plague doctor mask and an all black outfit standing and doing simple motions while this horrible buzzing sound is happening in the background. If you're wearing headphones, just a warning that the sound sucks. While nothing exceptional happens in the video, it really does feel very suspicious and definitely cursed. Apparently, if you put this buzzing sound into a spectrogram, which will give you a visual representation of the sound, it apparently makes the shape of a woman who is being harmed. I'm not sure if that part is true, but any video with a story like that attached to it cannot be good. In our number 3 spot today, we have some surveillance footage. This creepy video shows a woman named Lacey Turner gardening. Lacey thinks that she is alone just doing her tasks, but the footage unfortunately shows something different. Lacey is actually being followed around by this dark figure that I can't quite figure out if it's a real human or a shadow or a ghost. I don't know what it is, but it is creepy. It is so scary to think that this happened to Lacey because that could mean that it's happened to any of us. I'm glad that Lacey was totally okay, but she was probably pretty freaked out once she saw that footage. I doubt she is gardening alone anymore.
In our second spot, we have the house elf. I know you all just saw what I saw. It's time for Dobie to go back to Hogwarts. So a woman was reviewing her surveillance footage when she noticed she captured this weird creature walking by her house. That is like some alien doing the chicken dance down the driveway. I don't know what this creature is, but it can stay far away from my driveway.
And in our number 1 spot today, we have this Devil's Cauldron video. This video was uploaded earlier this year by the YouTube channel TechRax as they were trying to test the capabilities of the iPhone 11, but they really weren't expecting these results. They took the phone to the Devil's Cauldron, which is located in Nevada, and used a drone to try and dip the phone into the water before bringing it back up. Their first attempt didn't really bring any results, but their second one sure did. I'm not sure where those screams are coming from, but people really do believe that this spot could potentially be a portal to the underworld. Whatever happened in this video, it definitely leaves an extremely eerie feeling after watching. In our number 10 spot today, we are starting off with a video from Reddit. A user called KittyK38 uploaded a surveillance video of their basement bathroom where some pretty strange things begin to happen. They set up the camera to record because the previous night they were doing a live stream on TikTok and watchers noticed a drawer in the bathroom move all by itself and they wanted to catch it in action again. I honestly tried to think about how they could have rigged the bathroom in order to make this video, but the door starts completely open so we know that no one is behind it, and if a string was attached to the drawer, someone behind the camera wouldn't have been able to open it from that angle. So basically what I'm saying is that the only explanation is unfortunately ghosts. Probably time for KittyK38 to put that house up for sale. Coming in at number 9, this video takes place on the side of a highway at a time when luckily no cars were around. We see some sort of creature ghost thing that looks like a Dementor from Harry Potter creep up from in between lanes. It almost looks like they're trying to throw something into the road before they just crouch back down and disappear. I watched this video over and over again trying to find some sort of shadow that would make me believe that this is a real human person, but I couldn't see one. Guys, if you're liking this video so far, please don't forget to click that like button as it really helps us out. For number 8 on today's list, this video starts off with a guy just trying to get some work done, but this ghost in his office clearly has other plans. At first I kind of thought that maybe somebody was hiding behind the other desk and moved the chair, but then I continued watching and what happens next is what really got me. The guy obviously knew some weird stuff was going on when the water bottle fell, but he was still about to go back to work. Understandably, what really got him is when the second chair completely tips over without anyone nearby. We can tell by his reaction that he is extremely freaked out and got out of that room as fast as he possibly could. Can you blame him? Moving on up to number 7, this video comes at us from the YouTuber Exploration Unknown. He enters an abandoned occult mansion and begins searching around, but of course has an eerie feeling.
This floor don't feel very good.
After a short while, he hears someone in the house, so he calls out to let anyone know who may be in there that he is harmless and just thought that the house was unoccupied, but he gets an unexpected response to say the least.
Oh my God, Freelander. Hello? Is there somebody here? I'm not here to bother or rob anything. I was just here exploring. I thought it was a band.
Luckily, he is able to escape the house and get to safety before finding out what or who that was. Alright guys, and at number 6 today we have a video that was uploaded to YouTube in 2010 by the user OldPhantom13. The video comes from some security cameras that were installed in a shop that was having problems with people breaking in and vandalizing the place, but I don't think they were expecting to see what the video ended up showing them. Lockers slamming and opening on their own is never a good thing, but the creepiest part about that to me is the sound we hear after, like someone is trying to open a locked one. And the icing on the cake is of course the wheelchair just rolling around all by itself. If I worked at the shop, after seeing this, I'd probably just decide that it was time for me to get a new job. In our halfway spot at number 5, we have a TikTok from the user Rubik's Cube. This one starts off with the user just doing one of the many dances that the app is known for, but that's not what made this one go viral. While the video itself is cute and entertaining, if you look past the dance and focus on the stairs, you'll see what gives this video cursed status. A figure appears to be peeking past the wall in order to get a glimpse. The user followed up this video by letting people know that they were home alone and that they don't have any pets. I'm not sure if this figure is a ghost or a creature or an intruder, but I sure am glad the person who made the TikTok is still alive and well today and made it through completely unharmed. In our number 4 spot, we've got another creepy TikTok. The user is just recording her dogs, explaining that they're all just chilling out and about to go to bed, when almost simultaneously her and the dogs see some sort of shadowy figure in the doorway.
It's just a peaceful night here. Get ready to go to bed myself. What the fuck is that? What? Oh god! Fuck!
I would have thought that this was just a gag, but the fact that the dog sees it too is what really has me spooked. Everyone knows that dogs can see ghosts. The video has since been deleted by the user, which makes me wonder, was it just so creepy that they couldn't stand reliving it over and over again? In our number 3 spot today, I've got one more creep talk video for you. This video comes from Brooklyn Marie, who is exploring around old properties when they find a creepy trapdoor leading to the basement. I personally wouldn't have opened the door, but they certainly are braver than I. When they open up this trapdoor, at first all we see are stairs leading down to one of the creepiest looking basements I have ever seen. But then to both our and Brooklyn's surprise, we see some sort of figure dart across the screen at the bottom of the stairs.
So I found this little basement. It's freaking weird. Oh my god!
Brooklyn yells and slams the door shut, which is really the only appropriate response to what we all just witnessed. The video was captioned, "I am done exploring around old properties." And honestly, I think that's a pretty good idea. And for our number 1 spot today, this video is coming at us from 2012. It is from surveillance video from an office building. The video switches between different rooms in the building and honestly has me pretty freaked out. It starts off with just a few door handles turning on their own. Which, yes, of course, I also thought that maybe just someone is on the other side of the door, but this is just the beginning. The camera then switches to inside one of the offices and we see an office chair move pretty forcefully, seemingly all by itself. The camera then switches to another angle of the same room and another chair is rolled across the room. And finally, a third chair in the same room is moved again, all by itself. I'm not sure why this ghost seems to have such an aversion to office chairs, but I am spooked. We then go back to the same door handles we saw move before, but this time 2 are moving at the same time, like the ghost is really trying to escape, and this is where things really escalate. Throughout the next footage, we can continuously hear the door handles turning, all while the camera goes from room to room and the doors are slamming and drawers are opening and even papers are flying out. If someone rigged the office in order to create this video, I'm not really sure how they would have been able to do it. And then, just as quickly as all the chaos started, it just abruptly stops. I honestly watched that video so many times to try and figure out how someone could have pulled this off, but it's safe to say I have absolutely no clue, and I am pretty scared of whatever is going on in that building.